Good morning, fellows, and welcome back again into the meeting room. I hope you all doing well, enjoyed your weekend, and are getting ready for the profitable week. Okay, so let's look at the news calendar first. What we are having and which news event can cause the movement in the market. So today we're gonna pay attention on dollar. So we are having durable goods order, yeah, called durable goods order. So we're gonna pay attention on dollar, yeah. So we are waiting for the dollar to move to pick a strength to get a strength. But dollar, is at the bottom at the moment. Dollar is weakest currency at the moment, I think. So we are looking for the dollar to get strong. If dollar is gonna get strong, all pairs which are running against the dollar are gonna get weak, like Euro USD, Chi, New Zealand dollar, Australian dollar, gold, silver. So all these pairs, yeah. So we're gonna pay attention on dollar throughout the week, this week, where the dollar gonna go in this week. Okay, so some news events are we are having during the week. So specifically, we're gonna pay attention on dollar pair and pound pairs, and some cat pairs as well. All right, so not a big news event just coming into the week. Some speeches are there, like Draghi is going to speak today, and tomorrow I think Yellen is going to speak, and on Wednesday Kuroda is going to speak, and Bank of Canada governor going to speak on Wednesday. Yeah, so these are the movement, the event we're gonna pay attention. Yeah, so these events can cause volatility throughout the week. All right, so let's look at the pairs first. So we're gonna start from the dollar index, where dollar index is heading. So as you fellows know that we are having this structure on the dollar index since very long. The structure we were facing, that one, all right. This looks like expanding triangle, all right, expanding triangle. So this is the aggressive wave. Price is just falling back to that aggressive impulse or wave correctively, all right, correctively. So in longer term, price is gonna go into that wave, all right, into that wave. So dollar is gonna be bullish in longer term, not gonna be bearish. So short term, or you can say that medium term, dollar is bearish, okay, but in longer term dollar gonna be bullish. All right, so this is the structure we are having on bigger time frame. Now let's look at the lower time frame, where we're gonna pay attention for lower time frame. So this is the structure I'm looking for on dollar index. This was the corrective wave, continuation, corrective wave, continuation, corrective wave, continuation. All right, so this might be another corrective wave back to that trend line. If so, then we're gonna push this pair to the downside again from that trend line. All right, that trend line, we're gonna push that pair to the downside again. All right, so far we are having this trade setup. Okay, this trade setup based on the breakout. Once price is gonna break out strongly, we can look for buy up to that trend line. All right, so if you fellows remember that we were paying attention on dollar index at this area, all right, so that was early trade setup or first trade setup, or trade setup based on the indication pattern structure, all that, those things. Yeah, all right, so we are heading into that way, this way. All right, close to that trend line. The way price is just rising is not aggressive, so aggressive. All right, so aggressive should look like that. Impulse, strong impulse from that bottom. That impulse gonna give gonna be a strong indication that this pair is going to get to the top again. All right, so these are the scenarios, two scenarios we are having. The first scenario is this, yeah, the flag, you fellas can see that if that flag break out strongly with strong impulse, you fellas can look for buy up to that trend line. All right, if that flag is not going to break out strongly and is just going to break out correctively like that, then we are not interested to buy on this price behavior. Okay, why we are not interested to buy on that price behavior? Because it can fall back to the bottom again. All right, because this is the corrective price behavior, which gonna give us an indication that this is not going to continue for that up wave and going to get to the bottom again. All right, so in that case we can look for short term trade to the downside, and then gonna look for longer term trade from the bottom again back to that trend line or even further beyond that trend line. All right, so similar like that, the way we have done here, the way we have done here. Okay, so this is another other opportunity means that the first one here, now we are looking for continuation. Okay, continuation of that trend to that into that direction. All right, so you need to understand that this is the continuation trade setup, not for the trade setup at the bottom, the trade setup we have taken at this area on lower time frame. If you guys remember that I have shown you on 50-minute time frame when this wave was coming over there on the I think on the Fed news even, yeah. So that is the dollar index. We're gonna pay attention on this breakout during this week. All right, so if dollar index is going to get strong, then of course USD chief gonna get strong as well. Euro USD gonna get weaker. All right, those pairs gonna get USD chief gonna get rise, Euro USD gonna get fall. All right, so let's look at the USD chief first. Are there any similarities to this structure, this pattern, or not? Okay, so similar structure and pattern formations, you fellas can see that. So let me show you the bigger one, the bigger structure and pattern I'm looking for on this pair. This is the bigger structure I'm looking for. Yeah, so movement within this structure. Okay, so back to top again. You fellas can see that we are still having impulse over there. So big trade. This is a big trade back to the top again. All right. Right, so big trade back to the top again. Now the pattern we are having on lower time frame looks like corrective to the upside. Yeah, on that day we were looking for push to downside and then continuation to the upside. We can see it is going to continue to the upside. Yeah, so we were anticipating one more move down and then continuation. We have seen but slightly up to this area. All right, slightly up to this area. So situation is quite similar like that, like the dollar index. We are having corrective continuation pattern. You fellas can read that on your 1 minute chart easily. All right, so continuation formation. This is the flag trend continuation formation into that direction. Okay, so pay attention at that area. If it is aggressive, you can look for buy. Don't be too late over there. I mean to say, if price has that do something like that, don't buy at this area. Okay, don't buy at this area. Pay attention at that top. So try to buy as much low as you can at this area. All right, this area. The reason is that if it is not going to continue, I mean not going to continue from that top at this area, so you should not stay into that trade at this area. So you should into that trade from somewhere here at this area. Okay, in that case price is not going to continue from that area, you can close your trade on break even or even with small profit by looking at the price section at this area. Right, so don't be too late over there. So pay attention at the bottom rather than at this area. All right, at the previous top. Okay, so this is corrective flag. The scenario is quite similar like the dollar index. If we are having breakout correctively like that, it can get back to the bottom again. All right, so this short-term trade we're going to look for at this area. Once we're going to see this price behavior, what kind of price behavior that is, either aggressive to the upside or corrective. If it is corrective, then we're going to look for short from that area to the downside and then again buy from the bottom like this one. Right, like this one. It is not rising aggressively. All right, so pay attention at this area for first of all for this breakout, this flag breakout. And if that flag is going to continue, hold that trade up to that top. If that flag is not going to continue, take that trade off or even on break even and pay attention at this area, okay, for this trade to the downside and then bigger trade to the upside. All right, so Euro USD is quite similar like that. it Euro USD is quite similar like that. All right, so if it is not going to break down this flag like that, this flag, all right, so then we're gonna look for this top and then downside. All right, let me show you the bigger structure, bigger image. So bigger correction is going on over there on these three pairs at this area, yeah, on bottom on DXY and bottom on USD chief and top on Euro USD at that area. Okay, so if it is not going to continue to the downside, then we're gonna pay attention at that top and then downside. All right, so just 1 second, fellows. Okay, so one more up move is possible the way I have just shown you on other pairs. Okay, so less interested on this pair for short-term trades, the trades I have shown you on dollar index. Okay, dollar index and USD chief. All right, so we'll track this pair Euro USD throughout the week. So dollar index and New Zealand dollar. Let me look at the oil first, then we're gonna get back to the to the other pairs. Let's look at the oil. I have posted this chart in TradingView by showing the people that how you can identify the pattern for trend continuation trade setup. All right, so patterns identification for trend continuation trade setup. So that was the impulse slide, a smaller lower degree the trend reversal channel was giving us an indication that we are going to form either continuation pattern or going to get back to the top again. All right, so this was the continuation formation. That was the trade setup over there for trend continuation. Okay, trend continuation trade setup. Similar like that, once we have seen that flag, the next trend continuation pattern formation wasn't the flag, that was the triangle. Okay, so you're not gonna see flag all the time. Sometimes you're gonna see the flag, sometimes you're gonna see the triangle, sometimes you're gonna see the flat channel. All right, so you need to understand all these trend continuation patterns. Sometimes flag gonna retrace up to the 78% of your fib lines, and triangle gonna retrace up to 38% or 50% of your fib lines. Yeah, so similar like that, flat channel gonna retrace up to 38%. So the retracement area is not important for us up to which level your trend continuation pattern is retracing. The important thing is when the trend continuation pattern is going to lose the momentum. All right, when trend continuation pattern is going to finish the correction or the pattern it is forming, and when it is going to leave for the next impulse. All right, for the next impulse. So nothing is important favorite for me on those lines. So the favorite thing for me is to look at this area, that part, what's going on at this area, what's going on at this area, what's going on at this area. Okay, so no fib level is going to tell you that area. Okay, so fib level is going to tell you sell here, sell setup here, here. Yeah, going to vary all the time. Okay, but at this area you need to understand the momentum of this trend. Okay, this corrective trend, this corrective trend, this corrective trend. Highly likely you're gonna see the momentum of this corrective trend gonna end here and here and here. Okay, and next impulse gonna appear, next impulse gonna appear, next impulse gonna appear. Okay, so you can use some indications for that, like oscillators, moving averages, or whatever you like. You can use that to just figure it out that which oscillator or which indicator is just giving you the more accuracy to understand the end of the correction. Okay, when that correction is going to finish. All right, so every time your fib level is gonna vary when you are looking for the retracement area. So you fellas can see that impulse, this was the continuation pattern which was developing over there, and how many pattern formation that trend continuation pattern changed. If you don't know about those continuation formation, you're gonna confused over there. Okay, so sometimes you will see the flag, that flag gonna turn into another formation like triangle, like flat channel, like expanding triangle. Right? So this is how pattern develops. One pattern turns into another pattern, and that pattern turns into another pattern. All right, and the bigger pattern gonna tells you another story. Smaller pattern's gonna tells you another story. Okay, so here is in this example, this is the bigger pattern: impulse, continuation, formation. Yeah, and we are having similar pattern formation here on lower time frame. Yeah, impulse and continuation formation. Yeah, so both are similar. All right. Okay, so patterns both patterns are same. All right, both patterns are same. Okay, so that flag was turning into flat channel. You can see over there flat channel. All right, so it looks like flag here, and now it is turning expanding triangle. Now it is turning into the this pattern. All right, so finally this pattern end with the flat expanding triangle and going to continue. All right, so before that was is for forming flag on lower time frame, but turning into that area. So that is the place where we were looking. All right, so rather than just looking at your fib levels here, here, you need to understand this pattern. You need to understand this pattern. All right, so that was the educational post. Now let's look at the oil, what we are having on oil. So these were the pattern which I have just posted over there for and this for understanding for the newcomers. You can see impulse, continuation, another impulse, flag, flag. This time we are having triangle. This time we are having flag. This time we are having expanding triangle. We are having flag again. We are having flag again. All right. So you're not gonna see a same pattern again and again. Sometimes you're gonna see flag, triangle, flag, like that. All right. So we are having this small opportunity still there. Okay, this small opportunity still there, quite similar like that opportunity. So some of you fellows were buying early at this area. So those who were buying oil at this area, that was the counter trend trade. Okay, now that counter trend trade is about to end. Now you need to look for short-term trade to the downside, this trade, and then impulse from the bottom. Okay, this impulse. Once that impulse gonna appear over there, you fellows need to look for buy the way you have done here at this area on on lower time frame, 15-minute time frame. The way you have done here at this area. Okay, so you fellows were selling at that area. Okay, so once you're gonna see that impulse, you need to look for that trade to the upside. Okay, so I'm showing you this trade since last couple of days. All right, since last couple of even couple of weeks, that trade gonna appear. Once that trade gonna appear, you fellows need to be into that trade. All right, so no excuse that you have missed that trade or oil is just rising without you. You are not into that trade. Okay, so as much low as you can at this area. Okay, for that trade, it can it can pass back to this area again. All right, 60 or even beyond that 60. Okay, 60 or beyond that 60. So this is a bigger trade, not a smaller trade, bigger trade to the upside. So it could be a shopper, then something like that. Could be a shopper, something like that, or corrective like these two trades. All right, like these two trades. If it will be a corrective like these two trades, we're gonna sell the oil again close to that trend line. All right, similar like the way we have done here, the way we have done here. If we're gonna see corrective wave back to that trend line, quite similar like that, we're gonna sell oil again. All right, but for now we are anticipating for aggressions like that. All right, aggression up to back to top again at this area close to 60. All right, the way I have just shown you previously, this aggression, right? This kind of aggression, impulse, strong wave to the upside. This kind of aggression, strong wave to the upside. If we're gonna get that wave, strong impulse to the upside, that trade gonna complete within days. Okay, within days, not within weeks. So this trade completed within couple of weeks. Yeah, couple of weeks. I think took 1 month. Looks like 1 month. Yeah. So that aggression gonna be so hard if it is going to rise aggressively. So short-term trade to the downside is there for now. The way I have just shown you a lower time frame. Okay, so this is gonna be a big trade. People are just talking about the oil, that oil is going to be a cheaper commodity in coming days, but it is not like that. Yeah, oil, it can't go beyond these ranges, like can't cheaper beyond these ranges, can't go beyond these areas. Okay, so we are testing, can't go beyond this area. We are at the bottom. This is at the bottom. All right. So this is bigger sideways corrections. Okay. So oil is just running within bigger sideways movement. So we're gonna stay within these areas for some period of time. Even the whole year. This whole year. All right. So oil and New Zealand dollar. So New Zealand dollar, I hope some of you fellows are already in from this top and some of you fellows are already in from that top. Let me show you the bigger image, bigger picture, what we are having, what we are looking for so that you fellows can understand. It's just matter of time, yeah? Matter of time. We need to be patient. Let's look at the weekly structure first, like candlestick patterns, what we are having. What we are having on candlestick patterns. Or let me remove that. Okay, so looks like weekly candles are going to end over here. Anyone remember that? These candlestick pattern formations. This pattern, anyone remember this pattern formation? Where we have seen this kind of pattern formation? Anyone remember, fellows? On weekly time frame. On weekly time frame. No one? Anyone? Just guess. Where we have seen this weekly candlestick pattern formation, and this weekly candlestick pattern formation is just telling us that it is not going to continue to the upside. Issue USD CAD, perfect, Marcus. Thank you very much for letting me know. You remember the candlestick stick patterns. Okay, so perfect, excellent job. This is how you fellows need to memorize all your previous stuff for future. Okay, so patterns repeat itself, either they are candlestick or chart patterns. All right, so that was the weekly. By the way, that was the weekly. That was the weekly. All right, and that was the daily. Yeah, so showing that we are losing the upside momentum. All right, so price is just losing the upside momentum. You fellows can see that these candles last couple of days at this area, price was just correcting, right? Correcting. So we are having similar scenario here at this area. Okay, so although candles are less than these candles, so more days were there and less days are there. Okay, but this scenario, this formation is just telling us that it is not going to continue in that direction. Okay, so highly likely this week price gonna fall. Okay, fall back to somewhere here. I will let you know up to which level it can fall back. All right, so this is the bigger candlestick, a weekly candlestick analysis. All right, so those fellows who are into this trade from this area, or even those who sold this pair at this area, pay attention first at this trend line. Nice, good job. Okay, good luck. Okay, so pay attention at that area or even at these previous lows. Okay, if we are going to break down, we need to pay attention at these previous lows. Okay, why we need to pay attention at these previous lows? Because it can rise back to that top again aggressively. Okay, aggressively. If it is not going to rise back to top aggressively, it's going to form a continuation. By hitting that bottom, we're gonna look for continuation trade setup at this area. Okay, continuation trade setup at that area. Okay, so this trend is about to end, finish at this area. Okay, so at most we are at the top. This is the trade, the bigger trade for next coming weeks. So big opportunity is there. Okay, so pay attention at this area. Once price is going to come up to this area, fall back from that top and come back into this area, this zone, you need to watch for the price section for for this much profit. All right, this much profit. It's all up to you. If you want to hold that trade for further downside, you can hold that trade. Okay, you're not gonna care about this back move to the upside. All right, that's up to you. So I will update about that throughout the week, about this pair throughout the week. So what we were having this this channel just was extending the ranges. Okay, was extending the ranges. You guys can see that. Okay, so it can further push to the upside. You need to keep in your mind. Looks like it is aggressive, holding aggressively, but one more up move is possible over there. This up move. If so, you need to pay attention from that top. Right, from that top. So currently looks like it is breaking. Let it continue to downside, those who are already into that trade. So stop loss should not within these ranges. Should not be within these ranges. Yeah, it should be outside somewhere here. This trade is a bigger trade, not a smaller trade. So you need to give more room, more time to this trade. All right, so Euro New Zealand dollar similar here. Okay, if New Zealand dollar start to fall, you're gonna see this pair gonna get back to the top again. Okay, that trade. How you need to look for the buy setup on Euro New Zealand dollar? You need to pay attention at this area. All right, at this area, at that area, as much low as you can for that trade. If you don't want to buy at the bottom, but you need to look for impulse at this area. Okay, that impulse. If you want to see that impulse, you can buy that impulse somewhere here or even after the continuation. Okay, at this continuation. Okay, so better to look for buy as much low as you can. This whole wave is corrective. Okay, this whole wave is corrective. It will rise back into that direction. All right, if it is not going to be aggressive, going to be sideways like that, then we're going to look for a downside, not for this trade. Okay, not for that trade. Let me show you the bigger. This is the bigger structure we are having. Okay, or falling correctively, that trade. Pay attention at the bottom. And gold is looks like aggressive to the downside. All right, so bigger structure, this bigger structure is showing this trade this way up to this area. Okay, so we were tracking gold from the top, that top. We were tracking gold from that top. Okay, for that trade, we are hitting this trend line. Okay, this trend line, the trend line we were watching in the last week. Let me get back to the previous chart so that you fellas can recall what we were looking for. This chart, all right. So we are here at this area. We were, selling the gold from that top. Now we need to pay attention at this area. Either it is going to get back for that up move, or going to continue for the downside. Okay, so this is the price section area. Either gold is going to hold that or going to break down that. Okay, this is the bigger daily structure. Okay, so by looking at this spectrum, looks like the gold gonna get back into this area, this zone, all right, at this bottom. If it is not going to continue this time, it will continue from that top again, okay, or next time, okay. So either we're gonna get this trade or this trade, okay, for the downside. The question is, this trade looks promising, yeah. If it is going to hold that area quite similar like that, this trade gonna make sense, okay. But this trade doesn't make sense at the moment. Why it doesn't make sense at the moment? Because we are in this structure, okay. So for selling, price should violate this structure, okay. Price should violate this structure, should break down that structure, and then price should give us continuation formation, and then this continuation formation gonna give us an indication that it is going to continue for the downside, okay. So for downside, there is potential by looking at the bigger weekly structure, weekly pattern, right? But for that, we need a continuation formation outside this pattern. Okay, outside that pattern. Now let's look at the lower time frame. What we are having on lower time frame. What kind of trade setup we're gonna get on lower time frame. So this was the flag. I think in last meeting on Friday, I have explained that at this area. All right. So watch lower time frame continuation formation like that. If you're gonna get this continuation formation, you can see impulse is so strong, you can go for this trade, and if that trade is going to break down, you can hold that trade, okay. This area is going to break that trend line, you can hold that trade. Pay attention on 15-minute time frame. It is just going to form up a continuation, developing continuation pattern formation in this area. You need to watch this continuation pattern formation. If this continuation pattern appears over there, that is the trade for short term. Okay, that is the trade for short term, and that is the place where you need to pay attention over the trend line. If that trend line is going to violate, keep that trade for further downside and look for bigger trend continuation pattern outside the pattern I have shown you. Okay, the bigger structure, bigger time frame. If anyone sold gold last week at this area, somewhere here, or even today somewhere here, you need to stay into that trade, okay. You need to stay into that trade. Watch this area, if it is going to break down, hold that trade for further downside. Don't take your profit off from over the trend line by looking at this couple of candles. All right, we are not having any reversal pattern formation over there, quite similar like that. All right, we don't have any pattern formation at this area. You can see it looks like aggressive to the downside, yeah. It can keep pushing to the downside. If we're gonna see reversal formation at that area, then we're gonna look for this trade, okay, the trade I have shown you a bigger time frame. All right, so far it is falling aggressively, no need to be panicked. Those who are holding their short at this area, even if at this area or this area, wherever the place they are holding their short on gold, you just need to look at the trend line. If trend line is going to be violated by the gold, hold on, you can stay into that trade. More profit is there, it can keep pushing further to the downside. If we're going to see reversal formation over the trend line, then we're going to think about the exit, okay. Those who are holding, then you need to look for exit. All right, so let's move on to the silver. Silver is coming close to the bottom again. We were having similar pattern formation. You fellows can see that here, similar pattern formation. This area, at this area, and this area. Okay, we are getting close to the bottom again. At this area, we need to pay attention at the bottom for upside. Okay, so this is the lowest place on silver, $13 something. All right, $13 and something, lowest place. In last couple of years, silver never went beyond that. All right, in last couple of years, you can see over there from this place 2011 to 2016, within these areas, silver never went beyond these 13 areas. Okay, so it is going to form another opportunity for this kind of trade. Okay, for this kind of trade, that trade can appear from this area or can appear from that bottom. Okay, for that we need to pay attention on lower time frame, what we are having on lower time frame. So once silver gonna start to rise, gonna be aggressive like that. Okay, gonna be aggressive like that, not gonna be corrective like that. Okay, and that strong wave can test this top again. Okay, so bigger potential is over there, high potential trade setup is over there. This trade setup is not for short term, this trade setup is for longer term and have a high potential. All right, so we are getting close to this bottom again. We need to watch price action again, not this. You know, this short-term trade is gonna give you less potential. Okay, small potential. You can bear for that. So you should look for this trade rather than this trade. All right, so you should more interested into that trade. Okay, so once price gonna hit this area, this bottom, we're gonna pay attention at this area. Either it is corrective like that and rising aggressively from this bottom, then we're gonna start to buy silver. All right, so coming close to the bottom again, like that, the way we have done here, we're gonna do at this area again. Yeah, if it is aggressive, we're gonna hold that trade for longer term up to the top again. Let's move on to the other pairs. USD CAD. USD CAD is just forming a trend continuation pattern on bigger time frame, daily time frame. All right, so you can see continuation formation. We are having another continuation formation. This trade may appear over there. Okay, this trade up to this bottom, where we need to pay attention. We need to pay attention at that area. Okay, that place you can look for a buy for the short-term trade as much low as here at this area. Okay, for the short-term trade, as I have shown you on that day, another day that price can hold that bottom, you can look for buy. Okay, on that day it was aggressive to the downside, and to buy without this kind of price action, at this area was risky. Okay, but some of you fellows bought this at this area. Okay, so you did an excellent job. So this short-term trade may appear over there. This short-term trade, okay, during this week may appear over there. You fellows need to pay attention at this area for the bigger trade, for the downside. Okay, the bigger trade which I have shown you in bigger time frame. Let me look at the chart. The chart I have shared here on that day. Right, so we are having this short-term uptrade. We need to pay attention at this area. Okay, for this bigger trade to the downside. So trade similar like this one. All right. So we were selling USD CAD all the way from this top. All right, all the way from this top. You fellows can see that trend continuation patterns forming, falling, falling. Okay, falling. Okay, all right. So we are having another continuation pattern formation at this area for this trade setup. Okay, so pay attention at this area. You can look for buy as much low as you can for this short-term trade to the upside. Okay, break below this structure, this trend line, gonna continue for further downside. Okay, this area break down for this low, gonna continue for further downside, or we're gonna see the change in pattern formation. Which pattern formation? This pattern formation. Okay, if we're gonna see breakout at this area, then we're gonna watch for this pattern. change in formation. Currently we are having bigger flag on daily time frame. Okay, we are running within those ranges, so no need to be panic. Let's look at the next one. Aussie Chief. Aussie Chief is just forming the pattern. The pattern I have just shared over there. All right. So we are having trend continuation pattern formation. Let's wait for that trend continuation pattern to complete itself. Then we're gonna look for this trade. All right. So if it is going to violate the impulse, no sell. All right. If it is going to violate that impulse, this impulse, no sell. All right. As I have explained on Friday, we need a continuation formation for downside. We need a continuation formation. This continuation formation. All right. For this trade. If it is going to violate that top like this, if it is going to violate that top, let me remove that. Alright, so if it is going to violate that top like that, then we're gonna pay attention at this top for this trade. Alright, if it is going to violate that this impulse. Alright, so we need a continuation formation on Uzi Chief for the downside. USD yen is just breaking the flag. The flag we were anticipating price gonna break up. Now where we need to pay attention. Anyone sold early? Anyone sold early USD yen? Okay, this flag broken out. Alright, so your stop must be reasonable over there. Did you take your profit off at this area or you still holding your trade? Took. Alright, that's okay. If you took small profit, that's okay. So those who are not into this trade, you fellas need to pay attention. You can see this lower degree flag, smaller degree flag, this continuation flag broken up. All right. So this is the place where you need to pay attention. This place, all right. This place and this place. Okay. So USD yen is not going to go anywhere in coming days. Yeah, it is going to fall back in the corrective areas. All right, in the corrective areas. You fellows just need to pay attention at this area. Okay, at this area for that trade, for this trade. All right, for this area. Pay attention at this area and this area for this trade. Watch price action. Don't sell early. It is rising aggressively. Wait for the price to stop over there. Give you some nice price action on lower time frame. Will tell you that it is going to stop, like not going to form new highs. Then you need to be interested to sell. All right, not aggressive in trade. All right, so euro yen, you fellas need to pay attention at this area. Okay, so similar like that at this area, it can further push to the upside correctively like that and may continue to the downside. All right. Okay, so further push to the upside is possible. That is the trade we need to look for during this week. And on USD, it is already breaking to the downside. Okay, so it is already breaking to the downside. You fellas can see that it is already breaking to the downside. I'll let you know what you need to do at this pair right now. Okay, so I was anticipating the price gonna hit that top and then gonna drop down. Right, so for this trade, gonna drop down for this trade. But the way price is doing here at this area looks like it is not going to hit that top. Okay, so what we need to do for the trade we are looking for on pound USD is this. Okay, this is the trade we are looking for. All right, either from this area or from that area. All right. All right. So we are talking about the pound USD. Our the trade setup we were looking is this one. All right, either from this area or from that top. So I was anticipating the price gonna test this area and then gonna drop, but it is falling aggressively. No, where you need to pay attention, fellows, you need to pay attention on lower time frame, like 15 minutes. You can see impulse is just coming over there, okay. For short, you fellas need to watch a trend continuation pattern at this area, okay. If you're gonna see trend continuation pattern, then you need to look for this trade. All right. Otherwise, you know, you should not interested into that trade. All right. If you're gonna see this continuation pattern formation, clear trend continuation pattern formation, quite similar like that one. All right. For downside, then look for this trade. Okay. Otherwise, let the price come at this top. Let the price hit that top, then look for this trade. Okay, so the trade gonna be similar like the previous one, the trade we have seen here at this area. Okay, so some of you fellows were just getting frustrated when this trade was just setting up for the downside, were thinking that we are not going to get that trade, it is going to do something like this and that and those, right? We are in a bigger daily sideways correction and price is just developing a trend continuation pattern formation. Okay, it can take some time at this area. Price took some time at this area, right? And then finally drop down. Okay, for that trade. Or drop down for that trade, right? So similar like that, price at least hit this area correctively, and this scenario again may appear over there. Okay, means that price can stay at that top if it is not going to continue from this area the way I have just shown you on 15-minute time frame. Yeah, it can stay up at this top for a couple of days, even for a couple of days, and then gonna drop down. All right, so patience is required over there. No need to frustrate after getting into the market. All right, for flag, look at the 15-minute time frame on pound USD. Pound chief, bigger structure looks like this one. Looks like we are going to get back to the top again. All right, for this kind of trade, All right, so currently I'm neutral on this pair, pound chief and euro pound. All right, on these two pairs. Okay, so for upside, we need a strong impulse at this area and strong bearish impulse on euro pound. Okay, strong bullish impulse here and strong bearish impulse on euro pound. Okay, so if we're not gonna see that impulse, what it can do similar like the USD CAD. Okay, gonna form a bigger daily trend continuation pattern formation at this area, then it is going to continue for the downside, for the downside. All right, so this scenario may appear over there, means bigger daily trend continuation pattern may appear over there. Okay, so last time we took this trade, this short-term trade, all right, so this short-term trade, all right. So impulse was there. We have spoken about this pattern in last week, so that trade is going to continue. Okay, so at this area we need an impulse for reversal back to the top again. If we're not gonna see impulse at this area, then you can keep selling for short term within these ranges. Okay, so quite similar like that. Let me draw this structure first. Okay, so like that. Impulse and this trade, all right, for this trade. So currently it is just going to complete that trade. Let it complete that trade. If anyone holding short a buy from this area, then look for this trade. Okay, and from that top. this area, that top. If it is not going to be aggressive to the downside, going to be corrective. So similar trade like that. All right. So euro pound is also quite similar like that. All right. So let's look at the bigger daily structure. You can see it looks like corrective to the upside and this trade. Okay, but for this trade we need an impulse at this area, very strong impulse. If we're not gonna get that very strong impulse, what we're gonna see, this continuation pattern formation, bigger daily trend continuation pattern formation for the next wave to the upside. All right. So for a lower time frame, like 1 hour time frame, this scenario, this possibility is still there. All right. So last time we took the bullish trade. Last time we took that trade, this trade, okay? So similar like that, there was a continuation formation. After that impulse, it is going to continue to the downside. Let this trade complete itself. Pay attention at this bottom and look for that trade. All right. So similar like Ponzi, that trade. All right, that trade. And if we're gonna see impulse from this area somewhere here, then we're gonna look for continuation to the downside. Yeah, for bigger trade to the downside. But it is in bigger correction at the top. Yeah, bigger correction at this top. So it will take some more time. Pound Aussie dollar, nothing has changed over there. I have told you on this pair in Friday meeting as well. Yeah, so this trade highly likely tomorrow or day after tomorrow we're gonna see that trade completion up to this bottom. Okay, what we are having channel over there. You can see over there the channel we have seen on New Zealand dollar. All right, so this trade, pay attention at this area. So nothing has changed over there on this pair. So this pair is quite similar. We are running in the channel, descending channel. Pound CAD needs more time for upside. Yeah, something up to this area, okay, that area. Then look for that trade within that channel, this trade. We need a bigger continuation formation. Anyone remember that where we have seen this pattern formation, fellows? Anyone remember that where we have seen this pattern? Anyone remember that where we have seen that pattern formation? Let me know quickly, please. We have seen that pattern formation on gold, all right? So, and what we have seen after that, gold. We have seen that pattern formation on gold, fellows. That's the problem. You need to remember the pattern. Okay, so here was the pattern. The pattern was forming on lower time frame, this pattern. Alright, so breaking out and then continuation. So we are having similar pattern over there. Alright, so this scenario is still possible over here at this area. Okay, so then the bigger trend continuation pattern going to complete over there on pound CAD. That is the reason I'm saying to you we need a bigger correction on this pair, like daily correction before to sell this pair for bigger trade to the downside. So far we can get this trade, smaller short-term trade. Okay, this kind of trade, if you fellows remember that, I told you on that day. Yeah, this kind of trade. Okay, so this kind of trade may appear over there. For that trade, you need to look for as much high as you can for short. Pound yen, pay attention at the top. We are testing the top again, all right? So this is the trade we're gonna look for in this week. This trade. This is the trade. If it is going to continue, we're gonna hold that. Of course, it will continue because it is forming bigger daily trend continuation pattern. Okay, for that trade, we are still in this trend. We're gonna look for that trade, completion of that pattern, and then we're gonna decide either it is going to reverse back to the top or not. Okay, completion of this wave, the way we were looking for. We are having bigger daily trend continuation pattern formation. All right, so at least you fellows need to pay attention at this top. All right, if price start to struggle, you're gonna continue. You can watch price action on lower time frame for this trade, even at this area. All right, so 1 hour time frame. You fellows can see that it is not rising like that. It is rising impulse, continuation formation, and rising correctively. Okay, or forming corrective ascending channel, reversal channel. Yeah, it can keep pushing like that and then drop. So that trade, okay, and that trade even can break down this bigger channel for the downside. Pound New Zealand dollar, short term upside. So short term upside, this trade still there, all right? This trade still there, and then this trade. So nothing has changed on pound Aussie dollar and pound New Zealand dollar. France 40, those fellows who are holding their trade on this pair, keep your trade open and watch for continuation. If it is not going to continue, move and break even, watch this bottom again. Okay, this area, this place for continuation. So quite similar like Aussie cheap. Aussie dollar and euro developing the continuation pattern formation. Okay, for continuation formation, you need to look for that trade. Okay, once that continuation pattern formation complete, that is the trade. All right, so we can see impulses there. USD cheap, we have done that. It is already going to continue this pair. Yeah, it is going to continue. Nasdaq 100 index is just going to continue. Now just wait for the price to hit the target. Okay, so pay attention at this top, fellows. Once price gonna hit that top, you need to watch price action. If price action is bullish, strong bullish, then hold that trade up to that trend line. If it is not strong bullish, take your profit off. All right, and wait for the price to come close to the bottom again for another buy setup. But I will suggest you to hold your trade. Just move on break even wherever you bought. If you bought here, 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 wherever you bought, just hold that trade, stay on break even, and leave this trade to do what it wants to do. Yeah, now it is moving in the direction we were anticipating. Let me bring back that chart. I think I posted that chart on somewhere here on 4 hour time frame, or let me bring back that chart. Right, so the way we were anticipating is just going to continue. Next 100. Not getting that chart. Okay, so You fellows can see that the way we were anticipating is just taking time, not moving so aggressively. So it's all about just patience. You need patience. Patience is the first key to get a profit. Maybe maybe I didn't post that one, that shot, and I have just shown you on the group. That's okay, but you fellows understand that, yeah. Let me bring back that chart. All right, fellows. So here we got the chart. The chart I want to show you. Okay, so it is going to break out. So this wave is just about to complete that. Let that wave complete itself. And move on, just break even. Let the price do what it wants to do. So cat yen, pay attention at the top, this area. Okay, for this trade, watch price action at this area. Cat yen on the cat yen for this trade. Uzi yen Uzian is just forming a trend continuation pattern formation. I have just posted the idea. This continuation pattern formation. Yeah, so this trend continuation pattern is quite similar like this one. Okay, this one, this one. So this is the trade we are looking for. This is the trade we are looking for. This is the invalidation point. All right, so continuation formation, and that is the trade. S&P 500 looks like it is rising, but still within the continuation formation to the downside. Yeah, so the place you need to pay attention, this is the place you need to pay attention for buy. Let it come close to this area, then look for that trade. Okay, this trade. Okay, so that is your trade. If it is not going to continue up to this area and going to continue, let it go. Yeah, let it go. It can reverse back from that top. All right, so watch this area, this place for that trade on S&P 500. Yeah, and Bitcoin, for Bitcoin, pay attention at the over the trend line. If price is just going to bounce back from the trend line, you can look for upside. All right, so I'm having this structure. Pay attention at this area, similar like the way we have done here. All right, the way we have done here at this area. You need to watch price section at this area for that final up wave. Okay, so it might be final or even can further push to the upside, but we'll see that. So the price action place is this. If it is going to break down, you're going to pay attention at this previous low and possible change in pattern formation. The pattern we are having is ascending channel. This is the trend, strong trend, pullback, another wave up, pullback, another continuation formation, or you can say that this is the impulse. Yeah, continuation formation for the downside. All right, so we are having similar pattern formation on Bitcoin. The pattern formation I have just shown you on the Nasdaq 100 index. All right, so Nasdaq 100 index, we have seen impulse and sharp correction. Price came back to that trend line and was holding that trend line on Nasdaq 100 index. Yeah, and was going to continue. All right, so Bitcoin is quite similar like Nasdaq 100 index. Let me show you that again. All right, so Nasdaq 100 index was in strong trend to the upside, and Bitcoin is also in a strong trend to the upside. All right, so what we have seen here: impulse, sharp correction, next impulse continuation to the downside. Price never validated that bottom, holding that trend line. Okay, so that is the place where we were looking for breakout of that channel. If you fellows remember that, yeah, that impulse we were looking for, and we got that, and we got the continuation to the upside. Okay, so that is the place where we need to pay attention. If price is just going to hold that trend line quite similar like the Nasdaq 100 index, that is the trade. All right, that is the trade on Bitcoin. All right, any question, fellows? No question. All right. Okay, so if there is no question, I'm going to stop here. All right, so we will talk about the rest in the group. Yes. Thank you very much for being with me, fellows. Have a profitable week, and we'll see you back into the group. Thank you very much. Bye bye.